Imagine this. A practice so ancient it predates written history, yet so powerful that neuroscientists today are both fascinated and terrified by what it does inside the human brain. It doesn't involve drugs, machines, or any modern technology. It's simply breath. A rhythm of inhaling and exhaling passed down from the first yogis, guarded by monks, whispered through the temples of Tibet and the Vedas of India. And now, in 2025, science is finally beginning to catch up. Neuroscientists are seeing something in the data that doesn't fit their models. EEG scans showing impossible coherence. Brain waves syncing in perfect harmony. Regions that should compete, instead communicating like an orchestra. When people practice this forgotten breathing pattern, the human brain behaves as if it's rewiring itself, almost instantly. They call it the breath of unity. But the ancients had another name for it, Prana Samvahana, the equalizing breath. Let's begin with what terrifies scientists the most, not fear of harm, but fear of what it means. At MIT, Stanford, and Kyoto University, brain imaging labs have begun mapping how ancient breath patterns alter neural communication. They expected mild relaxation. They found something closer to spontaneous order, chaos giving way to harmony. In normal waking states, the human brain operates like a city, noisy, busy, and scattered. But during this 5,000-year-old breath rhythm, everything changes. Theta waves rise. Alpha coherence spreads from the prefrontal cortex through the limbic system. The amygdala, the fear center, goes silent. Dopamine and serotonin surge naturally. And here's where it gets strange. People in the scans report the same experiences described by sages 50 centuries ago, a feeling of expansion, of merging, of I am not the breath. I am what breathes. How could an ancient practice, discovered without machines, without any scientific language, produce the exact same neurological states modern neuroscience now defines as peak coherence, gamma synchrony, and transcendental integration? That's what has the scientists rattled. Because the data doesn't just suggest calm or clarity, it points to the possibility that consciousness itself can be self-engineered. The earliest known record of this breathing technique comes from around 3000 BCE, carved into stone in the Indus Valley. It described the body as a temple, the breath as the bridge, and the space between breaths as the doorway. Monks believed this doorway was where creation begins, where thoughts become form. They taught, if you can master the space between the inhale and exhale, you can master reality itself. For millennia, this was kept hidden. Because when misused, they said, the mind could open too far, revealing more than most humans were ready to see. But over time, fragments of this breathing pattern reappeared, in pranayama, in Sufi zikr, in Taoist energy cultivation, even in early Christian contemplative prayer. Different words. Same rhythm. Same silence between. And when you trace these threads, something astonishing appears. Every wisdom tradition on earth seems to point back to one biological truth: the breath is the language of the nervous system. Modern research now confirms what the ancients intuited. Every inhale activates the sympathetic nervous system, the accelerator. Every exhale triggers the parasympathetic, the brake. But this 5,000-year-old breath doesn't alternate them. It synchronizes them. Through precise timing, equal inhalation, equal retention, equal exhalation, the two branches of your nervous system begin to harmonize, not compete. Harvard neuroscientist Dr. Michael McGonigal calls this vagal coherence, a state where the heart, brain, and lungs enter resonant frequency. When this happens, the heart sends a rhythmic electrical pulse up the vagus nerve, directly influencing the brain's emotional centers. Your heartbeat literally rewires your mood. Monks described it differently: when breath and heart dance together, the mind bows. So why does this scare scientists? Because if this breathing pattern can produce such dramatic neurological shifts, without technology, without medication, it challenges everything modern medicine assumes about consciousness and control. In 2024, a double-blind fMRI study at Kyoto measured this pattern's effect on brain entropy, a measure of complexity and randomness. Within 4 minutes, participants' brain entropy dropped by 36%. That's equivalent to the neural order seen only in deep meditation masters or psychedelic therapy. But here's the kicker, these were ordinary people. No spiritual background. No training. Just guided breathing. It's as if the brain already knew this pattern, like a forgotten software code buried in the nervous system waiting to be reactivated. And once activated, it didn't just create peace. It amplified focus, creativity, even memory retention. MIT cognitive researchers observed up to a 200% increase in insight problem solving after 10 minutes of the pattern. To the rational scientific mind, that's uncomfortable. Because it hints that consciousness is not just a byproduct of neurons, it might be the programmer behind them. Here's what happens under the hood. When you breathe in slowly for a count of 4, you expand the diaphragm and stimulate baroreceptors, pressure sensors in your chest. They send signals through the vagus nerve to the brainstem, lowering your heart rate. When you hold the breath, for a gentle count of 4, CO2 builds slightly, which causes your blood vessels to dilate and increases oxygen delivery to your brain through what scientists call the Bohr effect. Then, when you exhale for a count of 4, longer if you can, the parasympathetic system takes over, washing the brain in GABA and serotonin. Do this evenly, in, hold, out, and a rhythm forms that scientists measure at roughly 0.1 Hz. That's one complete breath every 10 seconds. And that frequency matches your heart's natural oscillation, your brain's alpha rhythm, and Earth's electromagnetic resonance, the Schumann frequency. Coincidence? Maybe. But to the monks, it was evidence that the breath connects you not just to your body, but to the planet itself. They called it breathing with the earth. In mystical language, this breathing pattern awakens the Sushumna Nadi, the central energy channel running up the spine. As you balance the left and right energy currents, the lunar Ida and the solar Pingala, life force flows freely. Modern science would call this hemispheric synchronization, left brain and right brain firing in unison. When that happens, creativity and logic merge. The sense of separation fades. You feel whole. Mystics used to say, when the two become one, the mountain moves. And they weren't being poetic, they were describing the exact state modern neuroimaging now associates with peak intentionality. The moment when visualization, emotion, and focus fuse into what quantum physicists call coherent intent, the measurable influence of focused consciousness on physical systems. Here's where ancient mysticism and modern science collide. Dr. Joe Dispenza's lab at the University of San Diego recorded electromagnetic field changes around practitioners who mastered this breathing pattern. During the final retention phase, that silent stillness after exhale, their heart's magnetic field expanded up to 9 feet beyond the body. At the same moment, their brain waves entered deep gamma synchronization, the state correlated with spontaneous healing and insight. In mystical texts, this moment is when intention becomes vibration, when prayer, visualization, or emotion literally shapes the body's electromagnetic signature. The ancients called it synkalpa, the merging of thought and energy. This is why the monks were so protective of this practice. Because in the stillness between breaths, what you feel becomes a command. If you breathe with anger, you amplify chaos. If you breathe with love, you amplify creation. That's why the ancients called the breath sacred, not because of superstition, but because it's the remote control for your reality. Now let's translate 5,000 years of mystery into something you can do, safely and simply. Find a quiet space. Sit comfortably, spine straight. Inhale gently through the nose for 4 counts. Feel your belly expand. Hold for 4 counts. Notice the stillness, the pause between creation and release. Exhale slowly through the nose for 4 counts. Let the air leave naturally, without force. Pause again, the silent space. Then repeat. Continue for 5 to 10 minutes. After a few cycles, you'll notice your mind quiet. Colors seem brighter. Thoughts slow down. And sometimes, a subtle warmth rises through the chest or spine. Ancient texts call this tapas, the inner fire of awareness. That warmth is not mystical energy, it's your mitochondria releasing heat as oxygen efficiency improves. It's your biology awakening. So why did ancient masters hide this? Because consciousness amplifies what it touches. If your mind is full of fear, this breath intensifies fear. If your heart holds love, it magnifies love. That's the double-edged sword of power. And it's why neuroscientists approach it with caution. They know altering brain rhythms this directly can change a person's perception of reality itself. In controlled settings, subjects report vivid intuition, flashes of insight, and a sense of deep interconnectedness. One MIT neuroscientist described it privately as the closest thing to a controlled awakening I've ever seen. But to the monks, that's exactly the point. They weren't trying to escape reality, they were trying to see it clearly. Why does this matter in a world of endless noise, digital distraction, and synthetic stimulation? Because every day, we breathe about 22,000 times, and most of those breaths are shallow, anxious, and unconscious. Each one tells your nervous system, you are unsafe. Each one reinforces stress. This 5,000-year-old pattern reverses that. It whispers to your body, you are safe. It teaches your cells to trust life again. When practiced daily, your sleep deepens. Your immune markers stabilize. Inflammation drops. And your mind begins to default to calm, not chaos. You stop reacting to the world, and begin creating within it. That's what terrifies neuroscientists and excites mystics. If this simple breath can give ordinary people control over their emotional and biological states, what happens to entire societies built on fear, consumption, and distraction? Maybe, just maybe, that's why the ancients hid it. So, here's the truth, the breath you're taking right now could be a prayer, a medicine, or a bridge. And the space between those breaths is the most sacred thing you'll ever touch. This is not superstition. This is your nervous system speaking the oldest language on earth. When you practice the breath of unity, you're not learning something new, you're remembering what every living creature already knows. That life is intelligent. That consciousness is creative. And that the doorway to both has always been right under your nose. You don't need a monastery or a mountain cave. You just need 7 minutes of honesty with your breath. Because here's the secret neuroscientists don't publish in papers: once your nervous system experiences this coherence, it remembers. Your body begins craving peace the way it once craved chaos. The more you practice, the more effortless it becomes to focus, to create, to love. You stop chasing stillness, it finds you. And that, perhaps, is what truly frightens science, the idea that awakening might not require technology or external tools, only awareness. So as you finish listening, take one slow inhale through your nose. Feel the air fill your chest. Hold it for a moment. Now exhale, slowly, softly. That simple act connects you to a lineage of seekers, sages, and scientists stretching back 5,000 years. And if this message resonates with you, if you feel even a spark of curiosity, calm, or connection, pause right now and do something that continues this circle of breath and awareness. Leave a like, not just for the algorithm, but as a conscious act of gratitude, a breath returned. Subscribe so this ancient wisdom keeps flowing into your life week after week. And share this with someone you love, someone who needs to remember how powerful their own breath truly is. Because one breath, shared consciously, can change a life. And one life, lived consciously, can change the world.